G'day folks, welcome to this pre-battle preview of the Battle of Antietam. I'm all set up, it's taken me many hours and we're all ready. This is the starting situation at the beginning of what's called the Day of Battle scenario. This is scenario 5.1, if you can get a copy of the playbook. And it's, basically kicks off at the very start of the 17th of September 1862. This is the situation. Starting dispositions around Sharpsburg in Maryland on that fateful day. This is widely regarded as one of the bloodiest and deadliest days in US history. This is if you combine both Confederate and Union dead. There was, those of you who of course know the history will be familiar with the Miller's cornfield out here in sort of north of Sharpsburg. Then there's the sunken road, and we already have some Confederate forces set up there. They're part of Hill's division. I'll take you for a bit of a tour around these dispositions, but we have, I guess the main geographical feature here is the Antietam Creek running through. And right in the middle here is the middle bridge. There is, of course, the upper bridge, just below here. And then way down to the south, I'll take you down there in a moment, is the lower bridge, known today as Burnside Bridge. So let me start with Hooker's Corps out on the left first, and I'll kind of give you a sense of what we're looking at. So here we are looking south from the north, and yeah, as I said, we've got Hooker's First Corps here looking towards Sharpsburg. If I lower the camera a bit, and they're facing a bit of a mix of Confederate forces on that Confederate left flank. You've got Early's division. You have got Hood's division. It may be better, in fact, if I get the, so I don't make any mistakes, the actual order of battle up. So Hood's division, Early's division, part of Hill's division, the left side of D.H. Hill's division, of course. A.P. Hill's arriving later in the day with his light division. Whew. Now, you may recognise this. This is where I played a smaller scenario. I played a smaller scenario fighting for the cornfield. Played a smaller scenario for the sunken road. So familiar with this aspect of the fighting. It's going to be interesting how this develops on a larger scale. I know, for example, how devastating this Confederate artillery way out on the right here can be. And I'm already, before we even start the battle, worried about Patrick and Hoffman's brigades out here on this, I think it's Town Pike, as they'll be advancing to the south. Now I'm going to pan around. I'll pause here for a moment just so you can have a good look. But we'll of course be having those Union 12th Corps reinforcements arriving and coming down here. They arrive pretty early in the day, and yeah, it's their job to take up position here on the left flank and push south. All right, let me shift around here and show you the other Union forces that are set up. So again, looking south, so this is the position to the west of Antietam Creek. And we've got the 2nd Corps here, and this is where McClellan is set up with his headquarters. So I'll pause here for a moment. I hope you can see what's going on. All right, so McClellan is here. He's with Porter, the 5th Corps, and his Army of the Potomac headquarters. 2nd Corps and cavalry in this area. You've got Pleasanton's cavalry, and just a reminder, this is the middle bridge here. So Pleasanton here, there's a lot of Union artillery set up at the start. You can see these guys down here. If I shift around, you can see I've got them all in column. And my plans are, well, they're not going to be fighting in line around here. They want to move somewhere first. And I'm just keeping them in a flexible position here. Shifting around, still looking at the second corps here. Now we start to look at the 5th Corps in the centre around here. So we've got 5th Corps headquarters. Porter, as I mentioned, is over on the right here. You've got Sykes' 2nd Division. What else are we looking at? A lot of reserve artillery set up. Yeah. All right, panning around a little further, and now we get to the tricky command situation with Burnside's wing, aka the 9th Corps. So you can see Burnside here with the right wing leader marker, which is very interesting. Basically, long story short, for those who don't know, he was a wing commander. He's been reduced to corps commander, but he still kind of functioned as a wing commander during the battle, just to kind of, he had another little step in the chain of command, basically, confusing things. And yeah, you can see the bridge here. This is the lower bridge, Burnside's bridge, Stone Bridge. It goes by different names. And yeah, you've of course got the 2nd Georgians up there and the 20th Georgians up on that elevated ground with a stone wall in front of them there. Yeah. They're actually quarry pits. So stone wall there, and then the quarry pits against there. Okay, let me take you around to the Confederate positions. I'll try to avoid the glare as much as possible. So way out down here on the southern flank, as I try to shift around the glare, there's Walker's division and some Confederate cavalry under Munford, way down the south there. So they're holding the far right flank. For now, we have got, I don't even know who these guys are, to be honest. Johnson's, yeah, they're a bit of a mix. Yeah, a couple of different. So Evans is pretty small. I don't know if you call it division. Is it Evans's division or Evans's brigade? That's Evans's consolidated brigade because a couple of small detachments here. Then, yeah, so Evans's brigade headquarters there. Johnson's division, Longstreet. A lot of artillery set up on this this elevated terrain to look over. I can see a fair bit actually. There are some trees along the sort of the creek here, but they are very high. They're several levels above here, so they can kind of almost see it above the trees there. As I shift around, you can see a lot of that Confederate artillery set up with firing lanes towards the middle bridge. Again, that was historical consideration for the Union. I think it was McClellan who was worried about crossing this middle bridge because of all these guns set up on the heights. Sunken Road is here, and you'll notice D.H. Hill's division is facing north. They can kind of shift around to their right, but that's where they are for the moment. As I bring you around to the northern Confederate forces, I do have some artillery down the bottom south here. Where is it? There it is. They're ready to move up. They want to get a bit closer. But yeah, these guys are ready to fight for the cornfield. And then that artillery out on the left. So, yes, as I said, it's taken me many hours to set this all up. we also have the reserves. I'll show you those very briefly. This is a list of reserves, reinforcements throughout the day, throughout the 17th and then 18th. Anderson's division, McClaw's division arriving pretty early, and then the light division under AP Hill arriving later in the day. And I'll bring you around one more time just to show you the Union arrivals throughout the day. So of course they're getting the 12th Corps early on at 6:30 a.m. They arrive in a couple of waves. So you've got the 1st Division arriving at 6:30, the 1st Brigade of the 1st Division, 3rd Brigade, and then 2nd Division, 2nd Division, 2nd Division, and then we have at around 8:30 a.m. the 1st Division of the 5th Corps arriving under Morrell. A lot of artillery arriving throughout the day. And then at around 9:30 we start to see the beginning of 6th Corps arrive. Now, in terms of how to approach this and what the Union and the Confederates need to do, basically, the Confederates need to hold the field by the end of the day. If they are still on the field at the end of, I don't know if it's the 17th and the 18th or just the 17th, but if they can remain on the field, they can secure a strategic victory. I'll double check that and I'll kind of run through how it works basically. Okay, so the Union wins if the Confederates declare a withdrawal to the south before basically the end of the playthrough, and at least one Union corps is uncommitted. McClellan, of course, was paranoid about committing all his corps, was anxious to keep at least a corps in reserve. So that's part of a Union victory, to keep a corps in reserve whilst achieving their key results. The Confederates win if they can remain on the field until the game ends, or if they can, I think less likely, withdraw to the north along this sort of Hagerstown Pike Road. So if they can really push through here, and the Union has no uncommitted corps. Yeah, okay. So they have to get the Union to commit their corps, basically. Any other result is a strategic draw, and it becomes a sort of tactical determination. If it is a strategic draw, you make a tactical determination based on 3 objectives. There's the Dunker Church, which is smack bang in the centre here. So 3 locations. It's not the church, it's the hills to the east of Dunker Church. So I think, yeah, it might be this little elevated terrain here. So control of this area, where you can see SD Lee and his artillery located. So that's the first location. The second location is Cemetery Hill, which is way down the south. Yeah, way down there somewhere. I can't recall exactly where it is. Somewhere around there. I'm trying to see the cemetery markers. There are actually cemetery markers on it. And thirdly, the Sunken Road. Down here. So 1, 2, and then 3 down the south. Whoever controls all 3 of those objectives secures a tactical victory. So it's really up to the Union to attack then to capture those locations. They have the, they need to attack. Otherwise at the start situation is basically a Confederate tactical victory. Well, technically it's a Confederate strategic victory because they are on the field. If the Confederates refuse to withdraw from the field, and if they're kind of doing a last stand, the Union can still win by capturing entry locations H and J, which are way off down the south. I can't see the numbers from here, but they're way off down the south. So basically, if they can envelop Sharpsburg completely, yeah, and capture all three locations, then it's a sudden death victory and the Confederates lose. Yeah. In terms of, okay, so this larger scenario introduces quite a number of additional rules and restrictions to what can be done. McClellan, for example, cannot issue orders to divisions. He can't issue any orders until 7:15 a.m. He is asleep during that early morning. He can only issue 3 attack orders on the 18th, the second day of the battle. He, in addition to needing to retain 1 uncommitted corps to fulfill the victory conditions, he must retain a minimum of 6 infantry divisions east of the Antietam Creek until 10 a.m. on this first day. So there's a lot of restrictions on McClellan and the Union sort of command. They have to keep a corps uncommitted, and that basically means not issuing any attack orders. As soon as you issue an attack order to a corps, it becomes committed. That includes, maybe the issue was rejected, maybe it didn't arrive in time. As soon as you write down an order for a corps, it is considered to be committed. So Union will need to be careful of that. They need to keep those 6 divisions east of the Antietam until 10 a.m. A corps must leave, so if a corps is ordered forward, it must leave it may leave some divisions behind, basically. And they can start following the corps order at 10 a.m. Yeah. In terms of initial orders, 1 corps can be given orders before, I guess, the start of the battle. That order is considered already accepted on the first turn. And, well, you can see the situation down here in the north of Sharpsburg. It'll most likely be Hooker's first corps with orders to attack and seize. Well, it's going to be interesting. We need to think about that order. That'll be an early consideration. Yeah. There are other rules around Burnside. The 9th Corps cannot cross Antietam Creek north of the lower bridge, so it sort of pushes them towards their historical sort of line of advance. The creek is, of course, cannot be crossed except at those recognised fords and bridges. You can see the middle bridge right in front of you here, and again just pointing out lower bridge, which is down here, and then the fords right at the top of the screen there. There are, lots of different artillery command issues, restrictions on cavalry. Basically, McClellan can only give Pleasanton 1 order per day. So you can't go crazy with that cavalry. There are, of course, green regiments, and we saw how they performed very well at the Sunken Road a couple of days ago in that live playthrough, if you want to check that out. There are various special rules around supplies and supply trains and replenishment and so forth, artillery organisation. The Confederates also have a number of special rules. They can form special ad hoc commands. There are a number of different special commands. They're much more complex than the Union. What else? Special rules for McLaws falling asleep. What do you fall asleep in a cornfield or something like that? Tall grass, sorry. Yeah, lots to wrap your head around. Yeah. So look, I'll be double and triple checking all those things and working through the rules once again for about the fourth or fifth time. And then thinking carefully about these orders. As I said, it's likely Hooker will get the first order. So we'll see some early action out here around the cornfield, and basically another historical playthrough of that fighting. Yeah, Hooker's first corps is all ready to go. You've got Ewell's division. They're on the outskirts of that cornfield. And again, they are allowed to defend that cornfield if attacked. Special rules for Antietam. So yeah, folks, to work through this, I'll be doing sort of a series of session reports. I'm not going to live play through the whole thing, but I'll be doing some live plays of bits and pieces when I can, just to kind of capture moments and get you a sense of how it plays on this larger scale, how the line of battle series and how None But Heroes sort of, yeah, plays through at this big full battle scale. So, yeah, if you're interested in checking that out, stay tuned. It'll be coming, I guess, over the coming weeks. All right, I'll wrap this up now. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Just wanted to capture this, I guess, at start situation and give you a sense of what it all looks like when these regiments, brigades, division and corps are all set up and ready to go. All right, take care folks, and I'll talk to you later.